Hello YouTube world, part 2 of cleaning a Mossberg 500. I had to go and get my, took me a freaking while, but I had to go find my Packmeyer gunsmith and screwdriver in order to take this extractor out. If you use standard screwdrivers and you're not very careful, you can bugger up the head on the screws, and I went and found the one that fits correctly, and it's very tight. Not the screw itself, but the slot, and they're magnetized so the screw comes right out. Okay, you make dang sure you don't lose these screws here. They're very tiny, and you're not going to get a standard screw to work in them. Okay, and here's the ejector. What it does is it's spring loaded, and when the bolt comes to the rear, all right, it kicks it, and the bolt passes it. Let me see if I can show you. The bolt passes it like this, it kicks it out. It releases that spring tension, and it actually snaps to the side and helps eject the shell out of the gun. Okay, the next thing I wanted to do, I want to take the foregrip completely apart. Now, I do not have a spanner wrench, a gunsmith and spanner wrench, so I have used this before in the past, and people can probably make fun of me and all this, but it works. Flat blade and the back side of a flat butcher knife. Okay, this is an old butcher knife a buddy of mine, matter of fact, Uncle Fester gave me, and I just used the flat side of it, the rib, to just go down into the slots on the little locking ring here. And I'll get close-ups in a little bit. Right this minute I'm not going to do it, and all you do is just turn it counterclockwise, and it'll unscrew it. Okay, it's just two little slots on either side of it. It's not very tight. I mean, it's snug, but it's not super tight. Once you get it turning pretty easy, just unscrew it out of there. Now, Uncle Fester, I'm not sure if you watch this, I'm not sure if your 870 Express does the same. You can look on it and see. And then you just pull this out. And this is the tube. It rides over the magazine. And then you can wipe this down. And you can wipe this down. You can clean it apart really good. Now, these here are in here with a roll pin. I wouldn't recommend unless you have specialized tools for taking roll pins out and putting them back without damaging it. I really wouldn't take those out, you know, but definitely wipe all the crud and the goo off of them. And with that, the gun is pretty much completely disassembled. Now, what I'm going to do is what I normally do with everything. I'll wipe as much of the dirt and crap off as I can get, and then I'm going to soak it all down in solvent and then wipe everything down. Now, the springs and your bolt and all, you don't want to get too much solvent on there unless you can wash it off, because it'll attack the springs. Okay, so don't really use the solvent in that. Now, this is just a preliminary cleaning on it. Okay, let me show you some of the cleaning tools first. You got your Q-tips, and you can use off-brand, you can use real Q-tips. Bore solvent. This is Remington 40X bore cleaner. Of course, you got to have patches, but also one of the things I love to use are pipe stem cleaners. Okay, you can buy these at any smoke shop. They're fairly inexpensive. Your nylon brushes, your bronze brushes. Okay, not steel. Don't want to use steel. Okay, and for the real light rust specks that I found, very fine grit steel wool. Okay, I'll get a close up on the camera of the barrel. You can see the little specks on it. Okay, now let's see if the camera can see this. But you can see the little rust specks there. Okay, that's superficial for the most part, and you just use your fine steel wool, and it'll clean all that mess right off, and it will not ruin the finish. Okay, I took a gunsmithing course, a gun pro course, and what it does, it prepare you to get your federal firearms license, and that's what they recommended. Okay, and I'll do probably 5 minutes of work just wiping stuff down, and then I'll stop the video, and then when I start to work on like the bolt and stuff like that, I'll get back, you know, I'll start taping again. But right now we're just wiping off the dirt and the crud off the pieces, so you can see what you got to work with and where the rust is all at, and then you can really work, identify those areas and really work on them a little bit more than you do on the pieces that don't have any rust or anything. The threads, really clean the threads really good on anything that has threads. Even that little tiny screw, clean the threads. And a truck, a car, a gun, a washing machine, whatever, if you're working on it, putting parts back together, the cleaner you can get it, the better it's going to go together, and the longer it will last, because dirt will eat up the action. Okay, it'll eat gears. I mean, it'll just ruin stuff. Now, we haven't got down to the tube. Okay, I'm not going to ignore that. I'm definitely going to get down to that, but I want to move on. Okay. And while I'm thinking about it, I will go ahead and assemble my rod. This is a bore guide. Okay, this will keep you from the rod from banging around inside the barrel. Okay, you should use a bore guide if you got one. If you don't, use your hand to guide it in there so it does not damage the inside the barrel, especially if it's chrome plated. You don't want to gouge into the chrome and get down into the steel, because that's where rust will get in there and ruin the action. Okay, got me a new pack of patches. Okay, just they're old cloth from well, it's not old cloth, but it's cloth from t-shirts from these manufacturers, and it's scraps like that. They put them, bag them up, and that's what they use them for. You get them automotive rags and all that kind of stuff too. Okay, then Seki bore cleaner. I got a new bottle there. I want to use this and all up first, but you run it down the barrel really good. I mean, really saturate your cloth, and it's starting to blow bubbles, so it won't be long. This one will be out. It's alright, I got plenty more where that came from. And it's cold outside today, so I'm indoors doing all this. I don't want to go outside and freeze my hind end off, so I'm using this low odor Remington 40X. I love this stuff for indoor use. Outdoor use, I'm going to use my Hoppies number 9. If you can take the barrel off your gun like this particular one, or if it's a single action where it breaks up, always clean from the chamber side. Alright, but if you can't, that's where the bore guide comes in. And I do believe it's actually too small for this barrel after all. I was thinking that was the 12 gauge side. But you can hold it in your hand. If I can get it to come back out. You can hold it in your hand and use it to line it, keep it lined up, and it'll just go right down that barrel and keep it nice and clean. Or get it nice and clean. You want to really soak it down with the inside of the barrel with solvent. Oh man, that looks 1,000% better already. Like I said, my brother, he kept it in a box, and the box kept it out of the, the crap from getting all over it. And thank God for it, because otherwise it would have been in horrible shape. Oh, Kimmo, I think she bought this here a little while back, and I'm glad she did. Most of the stuff you can buy, like this 40X and all, Brad, you can buy this at Walmart, where you work for the distribution center. I'm quite sure you've seen it before, but you can buy just about everything I use here at Wally World, including the picks and stuff like that. Those come in real handy. The bore brush itself. Okay, this is a steel one. I prefer it. And this entire kit you could get, but you don't have to. You can get one specifically made for shotguns, being that's what you got. Oh yeah. Turn that upside down, let it keep mixing a little bit, and while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and run this down and really wipe the inside of that off and get the solvent in there so it can help dissolve into the rust and clean any of the crud out, because when I get done it'll be slick as a whistle. Anywho, I'm gonna continue cleaning, and once I get close to the end where everything's sort of cleaned up, I'll Get back on here. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1 Shade Tree Survivalist signing off.